Hello everyone and welcome to my channel and another video in our Canada immigration chapter. And in today's video I wanted to bring to you a program that many of you might not know about, that has an accelerated pathway for certain occupations to come to Canada, specifically to BC. That's what I'm going to talk about today if you're planning to come to British Columbia. But the program is administered in other provinces too. So if you're willing to go to Ontario or other provinces, the same program runs in those provinces. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the program today and why it exists. And I will tell you about some very interesting occupations that are mentioned in this program as priority occupations. That means you get to come to Canada within 3 months or less if you meet the qualifications. So stay tuned. I'm pretty sure that a few of you will find some useful information in this video. And if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so that you get notified of my future videos. Now, the program's name is BC PNP, so basically BC Provincial Nominee Program. That's what it stands for, BCPNP. And like I said, I'm talking about BC because I live in BC, but the same program can be found in Ontario, in other provinces. So just Google, say, for example, Ontario Provincial Nominee Program. You'll find it, and you can browse their website. It will be a different website. This is the website for the BC program, and this is the official website, so that you don't fall for any fraud websites on the internet. And there's plenty of fraud websites on the internet, by the way. So basically, this program was established to help cover the shortage of staff in BC, in the province, which we've been suffering for years now, and we keep suffering from. And they keep adding more and more occupations as they go. They keep updating their list of occupations. What makes this program different from the actual skilled worker express entry program is that this one has only specific occupations. Like, anyone can apply for the skilled worker program on IRCC or Immigration Canada, but for this program right now, the one we're on right now, only certain occupations are allowed to apply. This is one difference. There are other differences too. As you can see, I'm scrolling down here, and I'd say that this is a joint program with so many, like Immigration Canada and the CBCIA and other organizations, and even Refugees Canada. Like I said before, what they're trying to do is to attract occupations that are in high demand in BC to come really quickly and start working to cover the shortages. And one of those are healthcare professionals, of course. I'm going to skip a lot of things here. So the first program that they run is the BCPNP Tech. And this is mainly a technical program for information technology staffing, or people that are highly skilled in information technology. By the way, students are also welcome to apply for these programs. It's not just for experienced professionals. And there is also the EMPP program, which is mainly, I think, for refugees, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so this program helps employees find skilled refugees for the positions that cannot be filled domestically due to the labor shortages. So basically, they'll get any refugee that has the qualifications they need and give them permanent residence. And they also have a entrepreneur immigration pathway for entrepreneurs who want to come here for investment, and they offer them the permanent residence in order to support the growth of BC's economy. So this is another program that they have. Again, all of them are really quick. Like, they have quick processing times of like 3 months, like I said before. And then if you keep scrolling down on the same homepage for the website, you'll see the priority occupations, and they have, for the BCPMB tech occupations, they have certain priority. Oh, it's down there. I don't have to click it. Certain priority occupation that can apply to the program. You can see here telecommunication career managers, computer and information system manager, physicists and astronomers, mathematicians, statisticians and actuaries, data scientists, cybersecurity specialists, business system specialists, and so on, information system specialists, mostly tech jobs in information technology, computers, and so, but also some other jobs are mentioned there. And there, if you keep scrolling, you'll see the healthcare occupations here. Managers in healthcare, which is in really high demand, basically like hospital managers, specialists in clinical or laboratory medicine, specialists in surgery, we are in high demand of surgeons, general practitioners and family physicians are in high demand, dentists, pharmacists are down here, dietitians, nutritionists, psychologists, chiropractors, physiotherapists, almost all healthcare professionals, and nurses, of course. Nurse gardeners and nurse practitioners, registered nurses, all of them are in high demand. Because we talk about pharmacy a lot on my channel, so pharmacists are there. So what do we do? Also pharmacy technicians, by the way, and pharmacy assistants. Not to forget them, they're here too. So what do you need to apply for this program? Here's the catch. Now, the main thing that makes you qualify for this program is to have a job offer from a BC agency or company or whatever. Like in your case, if you're a pharmacist from a pharmacy, for example, in BC, someone has to apply on your behalf to this program and bring you here. And this actually is one of the main requirements for this program, is to have a job offer ready in order to be able to in order for them to be able to process your paperwork. So this is one thing. The other thing is they mention it under the, let me scroll back up, or is it down here? So the processing time of 3 months. And here are the fees down here. Application fee is about $11.50, $100. Request for a review, whatever that is. So it will cost around the same amount that a normal immigration application would cost, maybe even less. But this is not what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you. You can contact them, of course. There are emails here to email them and contact them. I want to show you the requirements. Okay, give me 1 second. All right here I finally was able to find it. So skills immigration, this is what we're looking for, and for a skilled worker, which would be the pharmacist or the pharmacist technician, eligibility requirements: have accepted a full-time indeterminate job offer. So they have even specific requirements for the job offer. The job offer must not be temporary or have a defined end date. So no end date, has to be a full-time permanent job offer from a BC employer. And even the BC employer, not anyone can apply for this. They have to be in business for at least a year, and they've been bringing money to the economy of BC. Second, eligibility criteria: be qualified to perform the duties of the job. So this is the other trick here, the other catch: be qualified to perform the duties of the job. So as a pharmacist, for example, you cannot perform your job as a pharmacist in Canada if you're coming from overseas, from any country, unless you meet the requirements of PABC and you've done all your exams and you've passed all the exams and you're ready to work. So let's say you just need to register with a college or something. That's okay, but you've passed all the requirements by PABC. You received your PABC certification, and you're ready to enter the market, the pharmacy market, and start practicing. So if you don't have that, you cannot apply. You're not going to be eligible for this program. And I know that a lot of you are overseas and you've already done all the exams, you're ready to come to the country, to Canada, to immigrate to Canada, but your only barrier is you're worried about the processing times or the too many requirements and paperwork that the express entry requires, or maybe you applied for express entry but you were never picked because they have a quota of people that they pick every year. So if you are qualified as a pharmacist or almost qualified as a pharmacist, you just need to come and apply, or even without coming here, you need to apply to the College of Pharmacists for a license. Then you are qualified for the job, and most probably if you contact somebody who owns a pharmacy or any pharmacy here in BC and ask them to apply on your behalf, most probably they will apply for you to get this accelerated process for you. And that's because even though there are a lot of pharmacy schools in Canada, the amount of people that graduate and cover the jobs that are vacant are less than what the Canadian market need. So there's a lot of shortage in the retail sector and also in hospitals, and specifically in hospitals because it's weird. The School of Pharmacy in BC has an undergrad program like any other school of pharmacy anywhere in the world. They have an undergrad, even though it's a PharmD program, it's still an undergrad program. So the students graduating from that program are not qualified to work in hospitals. So they have to go for a residency program, which is a 1 year extra program. And yeah, they pay them, but it's a very low wage. So lots of students don't prefer to go that pathway, especially they will waste 1 whole year where they can actually work and get paid much more in the retail sector than to wait another year and join a hospital, and the wages in hospitals are not that great either for a fresh grad. So that's the barrier for students here, and that's why we don't see a lot of them going into the hospital system. And also because the residency program only accepts very few students every year. So let's say 400 people graduated this year. In BC only, maybe there are 10 positions for a residency program. So they only pick 10 people to enroll in the residency program, and those 10 people will graduate and enter the hospital system, while there are so many others, hundreds of other students who were not accepted in the residency program this year. And then the next year, if they apply, we have a newer batch graduating next year that will add up. Another 400 will graduate next year, 400 and maybe 390. That's a lot of students applying and competing for the residency program, and they will only pick 10 people. And that's why some of those residents will end up looking for residency programs in other parts of Canada because they can't just keep waiting, right? And that's why we have lots of shortages in hospitals. We can never fill the shortage of staff in hospitals because it's impossible. The pharmacy program doesn't qualify kids to, like fresh grads, to join hospitals, and the residency program is very competitive. So if you have these, I know that there are a lot of you overseas that have the qualifications to work in hospitals, and maybe you have a post-grad PharmD degree, residency, maybe you did a master's degree or a PhD. That's what we're looking for here. And you've passed all the exams required by PABC. You're ready to register as a pharmacist. then you would be qualified. All you need to do is start applying and mentioning in your application that you want the employer to apply for you to bring you to Canada through the BCPNP program. The other eligibility requirements are easy. So minimum 2 years of full-time work experience as in your skilled occupation. Show you can support yourself. Of course, you have to have some money when you come here. You're brand new in the country. You don't know anyone. You don't know anything. So you have to have some money. Have or be eligible for legal immigration status in Canada. So be eligible for legal immigration. Like you don't have any criminal history or anything like that that would avoid you from getting a legal immigration status in Canada. And for tier 2 and 3 occupations, meet minimum language requirements. That's pharmacists basically have the IELTS or TOEFL IBT exams done. Finally, have a wage offer in line with BC wage rates. Of course, they cannot underpay you. There's a minimum wage in BC and everywhere in Canada, so they cannot underpay you just because they're doing this for you. You have to get a normal wage like anyone else. So you need to make sure that this is also achieved and done. And that's it. These are the requirements. So basically the two barriers are to be qualified to work as a pharmacist here, and the same thing applies for pharmacy technicians or any profession that requires licensing, and also to have a job offer. So these are the two main requirements. I would say if you can cover them, you would be able to apply for this. Feel free to navigate through the website. It's called welcomebc.ca, or just Google BCPNP or BC Provincial Nominee Program, and it will be the first result over there. And of course, if you have a refugee status wherever you live, I know there's a lot of, for example, Syrian refugees in Turkey or in Egypt or in other countries that are qualified to apply as well. So if you have a refugee status, they will ask you, because they need some paper proof that you have a refugee status, and you can apply to the refugee program on the same website as well. That's all I wanted to show you today. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. If you find this program interesting, if you have tried this program in the past, let me know about your experience. I don't know anyone who applied for it. I just came across it because someone asked me about the easiest way to, or the fastest way to immigrate to Canada, and this program popped up, especially for information technology people, and this person has an information technology skills. So let me know in the comments what do you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and have a great day.